Hi Sagittarius. Let me start again. Hi Sagittarius. This is your horoscope for May 2020. On the 3rd of May and the 20th of May, you have Neptune and Venus squaring each other. Okay, so Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and creativity. It's at 20 degrees, 1 and 2 is a relationship, in Gemini, a Roman numeral 2, so lots of relationships, in your 7th house of relationships, and Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, so it's like love for the world and love for humanity. And with Neptune sitting in your 4th and Venus in your 7th, these are great days, the 3rd and the 20th, to really have wonderful relationships, new relationships, to meet someone who's like family. And welcome to your horoscope, by the way. I don't know if I said that to begin with, for May 2020. On the 7th of May, we have a full moon in Scorpio. And the full moon is when the moon is totally lit up and it lets go of all of its energy. And it lets go of the Scorpio energy in your 12th house of spiritual strength, which allows you to uncover hidden truths in your spiritual self. And once you realize who you are spiritually, nothing else can beat you, because you then remember that you're a divine light being and no one, nothing can compare to that. You're irreplaceable. You are unique. There's only one of you ever made. And once you realize how special that is and how much power that gives you, you can really transform your life. I mean, the sun lights up that moon. Mercury, Uranus, and the transiting midheaven are all sitting in your 6th house, Sagittarius. So it gives you spiritual insights into work and into you, who you are, why you're here, what your motivations are, what your agenda is. If you don't know why, if you haven't figured it all out yet, like none of us have, you will make great progress in discovering new truths and realities about you. On the 11th of May, we've got Saturn retrograding until the end of September, the 29th, I think. So Saturn is structure and stability. It's the foundation on which you build your life. And when that goes retrograde, the security comes from within. So you're lucky with that full moon because you're able to connect with your higher self or with your inner child or God or whatever you call it. We do have something in our minds that allows us to connect with this higher power. All of us have it. So they're no special people. Connect with that and you'll get inner knowledge of what life you want to build for yourself. Not what you've been told you should do, but what you want. So you grow up in May 2020. So for all the Saggies who've been adolescents so far or young adult, you're really an adult now. You get to make your own decisions. You say what's best for you, no one else. On the 12th of May, Mercury goes into Gemini, a sign it rules, so it loves being in Gemini. And it stays there until the 29th, when it goes into Cancer and into your 8th house. When it's in Gemini, the sign of the communicator and transportation and communication, is next to Venus, planet of love and beauty. You're able to connect with what you love, but particularly in a working sense, because Chiron and Neptune sit in your 4th, so new relationships aren't the best, but new working relationships are really good. On the 13th of May, Mars moves into Pisces, which it dislikes very much. It's sitting on your IC, which is your roots. So the theme of your roots and your fundamental beliefs about yourself, that's come up a number of times and it hasn't come up in any of the other signs I've done so far. So that's what's changing about you. Because you have spiritual progress, you make spiritual progress, you really see what changes are going to be made. And you change the way you behave. You create new neural pathways for yourself. Venus goes retrograde on the 13th of May as well, or May 13th. I need to change the way I say that because May 13th, you can't say 13th of May, but May 13th is more accepted. I'll train myself. May 13th, Venus goes retrograde until the 25th of September, until September 25th. Don't get into a new relationship. Don't start a new business. Don't pour your love into anything that is supposed to be a business or to take on a life of its own or be a marriage or an institution. Venus retrograde doesn't happen every year, and it's one of the most trickiest, most dangerous retrogrades we can have. It's a personal planet, and we get totally confused about who and what we love. So use the first 13 days to really focus on how to love your work and how to create good fortune for yourself. And then, if you've already planned it, you can start something during the Venus retrograde. If you can't avoid it, if the dates have been set, that's fine because you planned it ahead of time. But if you're doing something new that comes to you during the Venus retrograde, forget it. It's not going to be what it seems. It's not going to deliver what it promises. Yep. On May 14th until September 12th, Jupiter goes retrograde until September. And Jupiter is the lucky planet. It's in your second house of money, next to Pluto, transformation and change. Jupiter is at 27 degrees. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. And because you can connect, you get good ideas about how to make money, how to create financial abundance for yourself, how to transform your working life, and how to change your fortunes, basically. 14th of May is the day you do it. And it lasts until the end of September because all of that good luck, Jupiter going retrograde, comes from within you. It's not someone else's, it's not Lord Sugar's idea of what kind of business you should have. It's your idea of what kind of business you should have. Again, it comes back to your transformation, your solidity, your structure. So this is your month, really, Sag. Love it. On May 17th, Jupiter trines the Sun. That is one of the luckiest days of the month, if not the year. Jupiter within giving you this good luck, the Sun being your identity, in the 6th house of work, you're really able to start something new or have this insight. You get a respite from Venus retrograde like you do on the 3rd of May when Venus isn't retrograde yet, and the 20th when Venus is retrograde. Those are respite days for you. So 17th and 20th of May, you're able to really do new things like new businesses and all of that. You're the only sign so far that I've seen who is getting breaks like that. And it's because you look at your structure. You do the inner work. Finally, on the 22nd of May until the end of the month, we've got a new moon happening in Gemini in your 7th house of relationships. So you're going to want to start lots of new relationships. Don't. Because you have Neptune's veil on over your eyes and you don't see what you're getting into. And with other people, with other work, with something that you think you love, when the veil comes off, you're like horrified. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Giving all this money to this product that is total rubbish. Why? How could I have thought it was genius? Avoid that. Do yourself a favor and avoid that during the Venus retrograde from the 13th until the 25th of June. Yes. Have a wonderful, wonderful May. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. Click on Book Your Reading on the front page. I use your time of birth, date of birth, and place of birth to draw up your chart. And then I can tell you about your life purpose, your vocational aptitudes, finances, love, where to live. If you don't have the time of birth, there's a process called chart rectification where I get 10 or more life events from you and I'm able to work out the time of birth, because the chart changes every 4 minutes, and if you don't have the time, it changes the houses completely round. So it's really accurate to have the right time. Order a rectification on the website if you're interested in that. Please hit subscribe and share the video. Have a great May, and I'll speak to you next month.